design a system of his own. It's been estimated that there's a commercial break-in in Britain every 10 seconds, and another one's about to happen. But Paul's deterrent is ready.
Oh, it looks like smoke, but it doesn't smell like it. Oh, this is very thick, and it's very quickly filling up this space. I can barely see my hand in front of my face. If I was an intruder, I'd really start to panic now because this is very disorientating. There's no way I can see anything to steal it, let alone find my way out the door. But for a clearer picture, let's go back a little bit.
Paul's surprise package is tucked away inside a speaker case. It's called the smoke cloak. Although it isn't smoke, it's glycol, a non-toxic, non-hazardous liquid that leaves no residue. So not only is it safe for people, it won't harm your equipment and papers. Liquid glycol is a complex chemical substance that's made up of oxygen, hydrogen and carbon, and that's stored in here. When the device is activated, that's pumped under pressure up here and through the heater block that turns the liquid into a vapour, and that's expelled from here. The vapour hangs around for about 2 hours. It's the triethylene molecules in the mix that prolong the evaporation. It takes just half a cup of the liquid and about 30 seconds to fill a room the size of a squash court. Depending on the size and configuration of the area you're protecting, you'll need different amounts of vapour. So specially developed detectors positioned throughout the room feed back information to the electronics inside the speaker to let it know when the smoke has reached the desired density. The smoke cloak is used in addition to an existing alarm system and is triggered when the burglar alarm is activated. It could be perhaps 10 minutes before police or security people arrive. It's these precious minutes for which the smoke cloak has been designed. Despite appearances, Paul claims that it's not a man trap. Its aim is to slow the intruder down and, if they can find a door, drive them from the premises. But if Paul's newest idea comes to fruition, even then they won't escape detection.
The next development that we're working on is to actually introduce a fluorescein dye into the liquid. This would actually concentrate around the mouth and the nose of the villain who's actually breathed in the smoke. And then the police, with the aid of an ultraviolet light, would be able to actually show that the villain had been in those premises.
As for Paul, his ingenuity has certainly paid off. Since the installation of the smoke cloak, not one single item has been stolen from the store, and he's hoping to keep it a smoke-free zone.
After the break, an inside look at the way we work.
And the gadgets that'll help the way you play.
The maker describes them as fish food.
I don't want to walk without you, baby. Frank Lesser, 1942. I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind. Don Gibson, 1958. The shadow of your smile when you are gone. Paul Francis Webster, 1965. Think of how many of the great love song lyrics were written by men. Seems men can say it to music, but find it so hard to say it straight. I love you. It's not that difficult. If you really care, then show her. Say you love her down the blower. Bob Hoskins, 1995.
Get this free information pack by post and discover all the benefits a Craftmatic adjustable bed offers. Are you propping pillows underneath your head, back and legs to relax and get comfortable? Just imagine you're suddenly in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. You touch a button and the bed moves automatically to assume the position you find most comfortable for watching TV, chatting on the phone, knitting, reading, relaxing and getting a great night's sleep. In a Craftmatic adjustable bed, you take the pressure off your back automatically, raise and support your head, neck and shoulders automatically, and elevate your legs and feet automatically. Plus, there's optional heat and massage to help soothe you. Get all the exciting facts about Craftmatic beds free by post. Call Freephone now for this free information pack. There's absolutely no obligation.
Call 08.
Last time you watched a movie in 3D, it's more than likely you wore a pair of glasses like these. A rather ridiculous-looking design that's now about 30 years old. But a new pair of goggles and a new cinema are giving audiences a 3D experience to end all others. IMAX, the Canadian company known for its large film format movies and theatres around the world, has tackled the 3D experience with a combination of old and new technology. The ability to record and then project two images simultaneously is the key to 3D. Previous 3D movies needed two cameras to record the image, but the IMAX engineers believe the new system should be an all-in-one unit, albeit a large one. Whether watching the mountain gorillas at play in Rwanda's jungle, the inferno of the fires of Kuwait, in outer space with shuttle astronauts, or to the stage of the Steel Wheels concerts. No company had more experience than IMAX with large cameras.
The best thing for a concert movie is to have the smallest camera. With the least people operating it, so you don't notice with the longest length of film, well then the IMAX is completely the reverse of that.
IMAX put a great deal of work into making its Solido camera a manageable size, while still able to handle the 2 reels of film needed to achieve a 3D recording. 4 vertical magazines supply and take up the wide-gauge film and provide 3 minutes of uninterrupted filming. It uses interchangeable side-by-side dual lens blocks. After 10 years in development, the 3D camera was ready to shoot. The camera weighs a hefty 85 kilograms, but the freedom it provides is a big step up from the old 2-camera system. It now means that IMAX can boldly go where no 3D camera has been before. It may not be as agile as standard IMAX cameras, but the new design does mark a change in portability for 3D. It will ensure a broader range of topics are covered in this next generation of films. And so to the next challenge for IMAX and the heart of any cinema experience, the projector. To see this, we had to journey to one of only 2 Solido theatres in the world at Makuhari, an hour from Tokyo. In previous formats, 2 projectors sat together to achieve 3D. With any mismatch between the 2 even more obvious on the large IMAX screen, it was necessary to build a projector to handle 2 spools of film. The film on this spool is providing the right eye perspective, while the film on this spool is providing the left eye perspective. They're run simultaneously, but the images are alternating at 48 frames per second for each eye. So within the space of a second, the viewer has been fed 96 images. The image is projected onto a specially coated domed screen, 24 meters in diameter, and wraps around the viewer past the point of peripheral vision. For example, this is how we view a normal 35mm film, conventional IMAX, and finally Solido. With the projection equipment now built, IMAX needed to build compatible goggles for the audience and find someone to make the first film for screening. Fujitsu of Japan set about producing an animated 3D feature for the Osaka Expo. 2 supercomputers toiled away non-stop for 2 years to create the 30,000 frames of animation for the film. However, the key to Solido's acceptance with viewers, and therefore its success, lay with the 3D goggles. They had to be comfortable and considerably more sophisticated than the cardboard handouts of the 50s. Every pair needed its own power source, a method of flicking between right and left images, and all the time providing a wide field of view. Existing glasses couldn't achieve this. Enter liquid crystal diodes, LCDs, familiar to us all from electronic watches and computer screens. Each liquid crystal lens is synchronized via wireless infrared with the projector, opening and closing with 0.02 of a second lag between the two, or at the same rate as the film is projected, 24 times per second. This is too fast for you to notice the open and close effect, yet it's slow enough to have the brain see 2 images being displayed by the dual projectors. Finally, the camera, projector, goggles and finished film came together in this new theatre. Of course, it's hard to convey the 3D feeling on 2D television, but the experience was much better than I'd expected. The 3D effect is unusually crisp. The fisheye images, which are 10 times as large as those of standard 35mm film, are so well aligned that some people literally couldn't believe their eyes. IMAX is already working to improve the Solido system with a 3D sound system that will complete the illusion, and the first live-action feature is already in production. So a new camera, a new sound system, and new goggles signify that 3D is back to stay. In an age where people demand a lot for their entertainment dollar, it may be the closest thing to virtual reality the cinema can offer.